The conversation now should focus on the takeaways from Davos as well as local governance that persists to Bangladesh. We know that if the Davos summit, the takeaways were regarding that the global cooperation is weaker, geopolitics is sharper, and the old globalization consensus is gone. Of course, economic anxiety is everywhere, even amongst the rich nations. People are expecting to have high debt, sticky inflation, sluggish growth in developing economies. And of course, we saw how Emmanuel Macron, branding his famous Ray-Ban shades, were talking about how the US is almost involved in all issues across the globe, including Greenland. The rhetoric has gone down as a result of Davos summit that has happened, but it is important because NATO was strained. NATO was in tension with the US because all the allies countries in the European Union, they could not understand what was going on. And another question regarding Bangladesh, we know that the elections are upcoming. However, right now, lack of information, correct information is what I will focus on the next coming days. Up until the election, law and order situation, we've seen a victim in Joshore, if not Khulna, who was granted bail and then arrested once more. It caused the society to fragment. Today, I'm sure online people are talking about this because of this activity of granting bail and then becoming arrested again, that poor man's family had committed suicide. Regardless, that man may be involved in politics, but it does tear across the societal framework. I want to understand about Davos and the ongoing situation on Bangladesh from Advocate Mohsin Rashid.
In as much as Davos is concerned, pre-Davos, the Trump administration has totally destroyed WTO.
The World Trade Organization.
Yeah. Now, WTO has become meaningless because you are imposing tariffs as per your free will on countries. You are having agreements with countries minus WTO. So, WTO has been rendered almost, it has negated WTO totally. Now, WTO, when it was there, it was functional, then there was a rule-based trade amongst countries. That has been demolished by this Trump administration. And Trump has also not been able to have agreements as fast as he wanted, trade agreements.
Right.
Like even with Bangladesh, we don't have a trade agreement as such. What we have is a non-disclosure agreement. But the trade agreement as to how much tariff will be imposed over India also they have not concluded, very important country. China, they have not concluded any trade agreement with them. So you see, he has created trade problems and for which Americans will suffer.
Right.
Others will not, because others are doing trade as they want to do. There are no problems with the trade in other countries. They are still working with WTO. The other countries are still working with WTO. So, Davos has been a disaster for many reasons. Number one, Davos did not bring the Europeans closer to USA. Because of Greenland, there have been tremendous differences. And the worst part was why Trump is backing out. Trump is backing out for the simple reason that if he sends his boots on the ground to take over, then it will trigger a war between European Union and Americans.
Right.
Why it will trigger? Because Article 5 of the NATO Act will come into play.
Correct.
So, which means all countries in NATO have to come together and fight the United States
regarding Greenland.
That's right. So, that is why he is backed out of Greenland now. So, I think problem is that he does not do homework before saying something, you see. And the problem is that the diplomats are not running the country. They don't run the country anymore. I mean, if you look at Witkoff, a real estate builder, an agent, you look at his son-in-law, another real estate builder and an agent, they are doing diplomacy. how do you expect this Ukrainian war to come? Because the professional diplomats who know their job, they have been kept out of it totally.
Right.
Now, in Gaza, this peace, you don't have any important nations, like China is not there.
How come there is no China in a place like Gaza or the
He's
Board
not
of Peace?
there. So, you have got amongst important nations, you have just got 2-3 nations like Pakistan is there. India is not there. India has been excluded. Such an important country, South country, Brazil is not there. Such an important country. South Africa is not there. You see, sorry, excuse me. So that Board of Peace will go down the drain. See,
Right.
it will not work, because within that board, he's got 2 executive committees.
Right.
So essentially what he wants to do is take over Gaza. 60% of Gaza is still being held by Israel. 40% is with the Palestinians. You see, so that problem is not going to end so soon. Now, in as much as Bangladesh is concerned, Bangladesh is apparently going through elections. Some kind of elections may or may not be held on the 12th of
I
February.
really like your use of the word apparently.
Yeah,
That describes
apparently
the
it's
situation.
going. So that's why I'm saying it may or may not be held,
Right.
because there's so much still to go. See, you have not recovered the arms. You have now asked the licensed armed holders to surrender their arms, but you are not making any effort or asking everybody to surrender. If they are caught, then we'll have this law. They'll be tried for whatever you want to say, sedition or whatever.
Right.
And some kind of law should be there for them. You are not talking on that. So you are leaving an avenue open for chaos and instability in the country, which is apparent. I see it. Then you are also keeping the doors open for election engineering.
Right. Vote
That's
rigging.
another major problem, even if elections are held. Oh, sorry. Why I say this is because I understand they are not going to count the ballot papers on the day the elections are held. They'll keep it for some other day, maybe next day or the day after, whatever. Now we have got some forms. Form 16 is to be given to the agents
Right.
on the day of election. You count in this booth, and then all of them are collated and then given to the agents, because you have many booths in a presiding in a place where you are voting.
Right.
So that is one problem. Now I now recall Pakistan. In Pakistan, Imran Khan won the elections, which was reflected in Form 46. Form 46 of Pakistan is like Form 16 that we have here. Form 19 is something that the returning officer signs, saying that Mr. X is declared elected from this party or independent or
Of
whatever.
this constituency, yes.
Right. In Pakistan, it is Form 47. So what they did was, they created an assembly based on Form 47, which were fraudulent and not genuine. So maybe they might borrow that kind
Right.
of a thing from Pakistan.
Right.
So I'm very worried about that too, that Form 16 and 19, how will they be used?
Correct.
So engineering is expected.